Today on CityCast Austin, it's Friday, and if you've been listening to us, then you know it means it's time for the Friday News Roundup. If you're new here, welcome. Hello. I'm here today with Grace Reeder, KXAN's City Hall reporter, and executive producer Eva Ruth Moravec to talk about Election Day, yes, again, and why it matters, and whether Austin's ready for these freezing temperatures that we are out of nowhere having, and what's going on around town this weekend. It's Friday, December 13th. I'm Nikki Devon, and this is what Austin's talking about. What's up, Grace? What's up, Eva Ruth?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Yay.
So, okay, right away, off top, it feels like we just got past Election Day, but it's happening again. Voters in Travis County could potentially be voting in 3 different runoff elections, depending on where they live. Early voting has already taken place. It was December 2nd through the 10th, and Election Day is tomorrow. So, Grace, let's talk about it. Let's get into it. What do we need to know?
Sure, absolutely. So for Austin voters, the 2 big ones are obviously going to be the AISD at-large position 8 runoff. That is going to be between Lindsey Stringer and Fernando Lucas de Urioste. So those are the 2 candidates who are left between the 6 that were on your ballot for that position. For AISD, there are 2 at-large positions, and then there are 7 that are district-specific. So this is everyone that lives within AISD's boundaries that need to go back and re-vote for this position. It's so important because these are where most of your property taxes go, is to the school board. So even if you don't have kids, this is hugely important. And these folks obviously play a huge role in education. And that's going to be a big talker as the ledge goes back and the state goes back and talks a lot about education. So that's going to be a big one. The other one at the city level, which is what I cover, is District 7, the Austin City Council seat. So only members or folks who live in District 7 are going to vote on that one. But that is between Mike Siegel and Gary Bledsoe. Both are civil rights lawyers, but they have different backgrounds. Bledsoe is the head of the NAACP, Texas. He's been in that position since 1991, so he has a whole lot of experience. His background, if you ever get the chance to talk to Bledsoe, I was doing an interview with him, and he was talking about punching a KKK member one time on live television, and I was like, you, sir, are very interesting.
What?
Yes.
He has seen some stuff.
He is very interesting. So he is one of the candidates. Mike Siegel is the other. He's also a civil rights lawyer, and Austinites may know him because he was the former Austin city attorney.
Okay, so that is a lot.
Yes.
So just a reminder, Election Day is December 14th from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. There's 26 different polling sites that'll be open. Like, to your point, AISD, that's big, y'all.
Yeah.
This is a really, really big deal. Like, we've already, voted for a tax increase. Now, you need to get involved with AISD because, again, to Grace's point, that's where your money is going.
And with these decisions about the curriculum recently that the state board put out with this new company,
yeah.
I don't know. If I were a parent, I might want to have some sort of say in, how that curriculum is implemented in AISD. This is your chance.
Right. And Maynard's mayor. There's a runoff from Maynard's mayor. Maynard is just down the street. I graduated from Maynard. Shout out to the Mustangs. But Maynard is growing and is essentially becoming another, a lot of people are going to get mad at me about this, but another Pflugerville, Round Rock. It's just considered a part of Austin at large.
Who's running for that one?
I think... what's his name?
Christopher Harvey or Trisha Campbell?
Yeah, I don't know who Trisha Campbell is. I have met Christopher Harvey before. Cool dude. But Maynard is growing, y'all. These outside town, you know what I mean? They affect what happens in our city at large. But Grace, I want to hear from you. Honestly, kind of going back, I got off track. Why does this matter?
I think it's the mayor's race is the perfect example of how important it is to go out and vote. The threshold for the mayor to become the mayor and not end up in a runoff was a little more than a dozen votes. So if you just think about you and your friends going to vote was the difference between the mayor ending up in a runoff or not. That's how important it is to go vote. That was the difference. So it truly does matter. And you think about these runoffs, the turnout is so much lower, way lower, because you don't have the draw of the presidential election, of that state Senate race. And so you have way fewer people actually going out to vote. And so that is why we see, that turnout become less with the District 7 especially. You only have folks in District 7 that are going out to vote. And so I think it's just so critical that those folks in District 7, you're making a decision for everyone in Austin. You're picking someone who is going to you're putting someone on the city council who is going to make decisions for everybody in the city. They are one of 10 folks plus the mayor who are going to make decisions that impact everyone in Austin. So it's hugely important. Plus, it's important to remember that these folks go on often to be state lawmakers. You think about Greg Casar, who now represents us. He used to be a city council member, right? So these are our future leaders.
Ellen Troxclair, she's a state representative.
Exactly. So there are so many people who start at the city council level. You're electing our future leaders at higher levels as well.
And also, these are the people that have the most immediate impact on what happens in your city right now.
Right.
Yeah.
That we're talking immediate impact, immediate decision making, immediate. I mean, as far as where money goes, it's a lot of weight. It's a, you know what I mean? Like it's a lot of weight.
True.
Nikki, to your point, like you've been on the other side of that, working in a city council person's office and knowing that's also the way that people actually directly engage, like versus, calling a state rep or a senator or Ted Cruz's office or something, you actually get the council person's response.
Yep.
Well, that's why I work the city beat, and they have said, well, do you want to go do state stuff? And my answer is always no. I love the city beat because it's so impactful on people's day-to-day lives, your roads, your public safety, who answers when you call 911, your parks, everything that impacts your day-to-day truly is this local level. And so it is so important who you go elect in those positions.
And you might not show up, but I guarantee you they're the same people that show up every single time they vote, every single election, and their voice is going to be heard. And so it's kind of one of those things that, yeah, you cannot engage, but then that means someone else is speaking for you. And those people are speaking loudly, and they may not be speaking what you want to speak. Be like, do we know how many people have voted already early?
It's crazy because the Travis County Elections Department, which is the Travis County clerk, she was doing great social media during the general election. Every day she was posting on Instagram the tallies of how many people had voted, like I think that day and up through that day. And I was like, oh, I'll go check for the runoff. No, it's not there. The buzz is not there for this runoff election.
Yeah.
It could have been with the mayor, like we came really close to there being a runoff for the Austin city mayor between Kirk Watson and Carmen Yanez Pulido. And I wonder if that would have changed the profile.
I think people have a little bit of election fatigue. You know what I mean? I think there's a little bit of that. But also, y'all, I was hearing about Mike Siegel in January about, they knew the seat was coming up. And people were talking about who's going to take that seat, And this name started circling around City Hall. Oh, it's going to be Mike Siegel. It's going to be Mike Siegel. And I'm like, who is that? Who is Mike Siegel? Right? Who is this person? I don't know who this person is. So I say that to say some of us may have just gotten here, but I think others have been working on this happening since January of this year.
What should we know about these two gentlemen?
Well, I can tell you a little bit about them. Well, first and foremost, you're going to vote for two civil rights attorneys. So you've got that as a baseline for both, but that's about all that they have in common. Mike Siegel, as I said, was the former Austin city attorney. So he, in that way, knows a lot about how the city needs to navigate with the state. And that's going to be important always with the city and the state and the dynamics that we have. His top priority is climate change, which is interesting. He also listed housing and mass transit, which, no surprise, there are going to be top priorities for him as well. Gary Bledsoe is also someone whose name has been, he is also very well known in this community. The NAACP is hugely important here in Texas and in Austin, and he is very well known here. He's been the head of that organization since 1991, which is no small feat. Also a civil rights lawyer. He is the man who helped get cameras in our police cars, helped get body cameras on police officers, helped get our OPO office. He's been very heavily involved behind the scenes. So you may not know his name, but he's been around at the state and at the local level very heavily. As such, public safety is one of his top priorities. Displacement is one of his top priorities. And he talked to me a lot about common sense leadership. As someone who's kind of been in the background, you could say, doing a lot of these things, that's one of his priorities and what he talked about a lot.
I like that. And that's the thing, like, I'd heard of Bledsoe. I'd heard of him, but I think just because of the NAACP, right? Like, that's why I knew his name. Didn't know the other dude. Did not know the other dude at all, which that's not shade. That's just like my own ignorance and not paying attention.
Or your circles. I mean,
or my circles. Yeah.
He's been on TV a lot, for big cases. I know I've seen him there. I saw him at the legislature fighting certain bills. I remember that kind of stuff. He's been in this sort of out there instead of the city attorney who's a little more maybe behind the scenes.
Yeah. Except at City Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on what circle you're in.
But it's a big deal, y'all. Like, to Grace's point, this is a seat on our city council. It's not just going to be representing they're going to be representing District 7, but they're going to be making decisions for the entire city. So it's a big deal. We hope that District 7 people come out and vote in numbers the same way y'all came out to talk about the home initiative.
Oh, if there are lines that long on Saturday, I will be excited.
It's Nikki with a friendly heads up that it's time for you to start making plans for New Year's Eve. But don't worry, I've got a great idea. Head just southwest of town to the Omni Barton Creek Resort and Spa and ring in 2025 in the Texas Hill Country. Their amazing restaurant, Blind Salamander Kitchen and Bar, is serving up a multi-course wine-paired dinner, and reservations are still available. After dinner, the adults can enjoy Snowdown, a magical snow show that turns Lady Bird Lawn into a winter wonderland. And the kids can hop on over to the kids camp, where the Omni Barton Creek staff will keep them entertained with arts and crafts, games, and movies. Now, the best part, there will be a champagne toast at midnight. Y'all, it's basically magical festivities for everyone. Find all the details by Googling Omni Barton Creek and make dinner reservations by searching for Blind Salamander Kitchen and Bar on Open Table. And Happy New Year, y'all! So we just officially wrapped up our 2 weeks of fall. It is officially over. All my little fall outfits, I'm going to have to put them right back in the closet because it's cold, y'all. Or it has been cold this week. Austin saw its warmest fall ever in recorded history. Our average temperature during the fall this year was 75.7 degrees, almost 80 degrees. Fall ended November 30th, and we saw the last triple-digit day in recorded history this year. It was 101 degrees on October 11th.
Yeah.
Which makes no damn sense.
Literally 2 weeks of fall.
Literally, we had 2 weeks of fall. I am very much in my feelings about it. But here we are. Now, all of a sudden, we're seeing freezing temperatures. This week, we got our first freeze warning on Tuesday night. And it looks like all next week, our evening temps are going to be in like the 40s.
So cool.
So we are sliding into winter. Fall is over.
No chill.
Yeah.
Or too chill, really.
Yeah, too chill. A little too chilly, too quick.
Yeah.
Good point.
We've had one of our driest falls on record. Austin leaders say that our infrastructure is weatherized in case we do get some extreme temperatures, because let's be real, we are all still traumatized from Uri. But ERCOT also said the conditions were similar to what they were when Uri happened. So they're prepping. They're getting us prepared.
It's so weird to think that, like, it's like we go from 101 degrees in October to like, let's weatherize the grid because it might,
Right.
like, it's really hard to imagine. It's not like matching up the seasons and what we're experiencing, seeing, feeling here. It's not making sense. It's very confusing.
To prepare, City of Austin agencies and Homeland Security and Emergency Management, or what everyone affectionately calls HESM. I don't know why I love that,
HESM.
but HESM.
Sounds like a person.
It does. It does. It does. So HESM, they're giving out supplies like free meter keys, hose bib covers, hand crank flashlights, and winter preparedness tip sheets at local community centers. And Grace, so they had an event, didn't they?
Oh, there's all kinds of things happening.
Yeah.
Well, the press conference, they gathered everyone. They have started doing this since Mayor Kirk Watson took office because he did not like communication with the previous administration when we had the winter storm, the second version. And you might remember that our previous city manager actually got fired as a result of that in part. So before winter hits every year now, they do a news conference where they bring everybody together, including Austin Energy, the mayor's office, Travis County, and they walk everyone through, here's everything that we're doing. The Homeless Strategy Office is one of those offices, and they actually walked us through some of the changes that they're making to the overnight cold weather shelters, which is something that we saw change last night. Actually, they changed the threshold. It used to be all of this wonky stuff, you know, if there's precipitation and if it's 32 degrees and it was a bit confusing, even for us. We used to reach out and be like, we think the threshold is met, is it not? And they were like, no. And we were like, why not? You know, we have weather people here that are very smart. So the city changed their rules when it comes to when they open up those overnight cold weather shelters. Specifically, instead of making it kind of a scale where it might be 32 degrees or they add precipitation into the mix, now it's just a flat. If it's 35 degrees, projected to be 35 degrees overnight at Camp Mabry, they will open up those overnight cold weather shelters. That is going to be the flat, number now. It's a lot easier to understand. The other thing that they're doing is they're making that announcement earlier. It used to be day of. That's really hard to let people know in advance that they need to get into that overnight shelter day of.
Yeah.
So those are the changes that they're making. We saw that happen for the first time Tuesday night. We were in that threshold where 35 degrees was where we were going to hit overnight. And so they opened up those overnight shelters.
That's awesome. So did it seem like more people were able to get in because of the changes and all that notification and the openings?
Yeah, I actually went out with some of the groups who hand out flyers and get people to the shelters on Tuesday. And they love that notification came out earlier, especially this week, because it went from 80 degrees to 35 degrees.
Yeah.
So people who are experiencing homelessness are not watching KXAN and seeing that it's going to go from 80 degrees to 35 degrees. So they need more time to be able to let folks know, hey, it's going to be really cold overnight. You might not know that because it's been 80 degrees today.
Yeah.
And so they really appreciated that extra notice. It gave them more time to go out and get folks, the flyers, tell them what bus routes they needed to get to the One Texas Center. That was one thing that people were really advocating for, and they really liked the result of that. I will also say that our relatively new homeless strategy officer, David Gray, was himself standing outside of the One Texas Center when I showed up. He let me in to go walk around and see what it looked like. And there were a little under 150 people inside on Tuesday night.
Wow.
So people were taking advantage of that, even though we have not hit what is going to be our coldest temperatures this winter.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just quickly, we've talked to him. Shout out to David Gray.
He is wonderful.
He is wonderful. Delightful.
Exceptional,
That
yeah.
doesn't surprise me at all that he was there because he's that kind of like, he's just such an engaged director.
Yeah,
Like he gets his hands in it. You know, he
he's
wants
in
to
it.
see for himself. He wants to talk to people. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's really cool
Yeah,
though.
I am. Like not in a creepy way, but I'm obsessed. I'm obsessive. You know how you meet people and you're like, how can you be this good? Like, how can you be this just like objectively this much of a good person? I am obsessed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was great. And he let me walk through. They have never let us do anything like that. He just said, "Hey, do you want to come check it out?" I was like,
That's
"Really?
cool.
Are you sure?" Yeah.
I love that.
He's really exceptional. He's very transparent. He's wonderful.
Well, and I mean, his department has a ton of money now, right? Because it used to be distributed across all these different departments. And I think his office is now like consolidated a lot of the effort and they have a pretty big budget. So I think it's good to like have some transparency into how that's working.
Listen, I love to see it. So I'm curious, y'all, because first of all, I, against my own better judgment, because I was born and raised in Texas, your girl is always hoping for snow. Just always. I'm always begging and pleading the universe for just a little snow. Even if it's the weird Texas slushy snow, I don't care. I don't care. I want it. Do y'all think that do y'all think we're primed to get snow this year?
Well, our meteorologist at KXAN just put out a winter forecast that came out
Ooh.
last week. So I'm going to just drop that as a tease. On the opposite side, I'm from Colorado. So I moved here so that I don't have to see any more snow. So I like immediately go to the winter forecast, like, please no, please no. So I'm like, please just let it be sun. I am equally upset that I didn't get to wear cute fall clothes, but I want fall to last until spring. And then I wanted it to last until summer. Right, exactly. So, but no, we
Yeah.
do have that winter forecast up. And our meteorologists always do a really good job of kind of letting folks know what they can expect going into the winter.
Yeah, my girlfriend is from Denver too. And you sound just like her. You sound just like her. And every time we're talking about the yearly trek to Denver, I'm like, she's like, oh, we can come during the summer. I'm like, why would I do that?
Yeah,
Why
like,
would I
no.
go to Denver in the summer? Why wouldn't I go to Denver when there's snow everywhere? What are you talking about? This is the only time I get snow. We're going in the middle of winter.
Right.
I can get my snow.
I want to see how people who get a lot of it can handle it. That's what I want to see because we get a little bit here and
everything shuts
it's
down.
a total disaster.
Pandemonium.
Everything shuts. Okay, so y'all, this is kind of a non sequitur, but not really. Last night I was watching Is It Cake Holiday Edition.
Perfect.
And Devin Walker, who is from Austin, and we was on the podcast. They're doing their holiday, whatever, and they're like, Devin, like, how do you feel about snow? Do you ever get snow? And he goes, yeah, I'm from Texas. If we get the tiniest bit of snow, everything's canceled. School, work, everything is canceled. We cannot handle it.
It's true.
And just watching everybody's faces like, what? And he's like,
Right.
yeah, everything's canceled. I was like, it's so true.
So it's very funny that even like within Texas, it's such a range. Like Lubbock will not shut down for a tiny bit of snow on the ground. Like they can handle it, but you throw some in central Texas.
Listen.
No, by the middle of the day, it's sunny. Everything's burned off. We're still at home.
Chilling, like, ooh, that was a close one. That was a little too close for comfort.
Having all the soup.
I am like so I grew up Colorado camping. And so I am just like a serial making fun of people. That's like, I go to the stores just to like watch people panic because I enjoy it. But I can like survive on nothing for days. I grew up in the Colorado wilderness. Like my parents used to just be like, get out and go like survive. That was my weekends as a child. So I just am not like bothered at all by winter and by not having water so I like don't panic in any capacity by any of that.
Oh.
I'm a survivalist.
Grace is, in other words, extremely hardcore is what I'm hearing. Grace is not afraid of your shit.
I am absolutely one of those people that are just like, and I don't hoard water or toilet paper. I don't do none of that crazy stuff. But I am like, we need enough soup We need we need perishable,
Yes.
non-perishables. We need this. Let's start freezing water now. We need
I love it. I adore HEB before a storm. I'm like, this is my reality television. This is insane.
Oh, you want to even better go to Walmart, honey. Walmart is like Mad Max Fury Road. It is.
Oh my gosh.
People do not play about getting their water. They do not play about it is. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite is that people will panic. They'll be like, my freezer is not going to work. My fridge is not going to work. And I'm like, it will be freezing outside. Just put your food outside.
Yes.
But see, none of us knew that. None of us knew that until Uri. For one, I'm like, in my old age, I had no idea. It didn't even occur to me until Winter Storm Uri that I should just take things out of the freezer and bury them in the snow. So my mom told me to get the food out of the fridge and bury it in the front yard. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, it just didn't even occur to me. And then it was like, I mean, I'm not even ashamed to admit it. It was like a eureka moment. I was like, of course. Yeah, of course.
Right.
And it's just because we don't have a point of reference. I'm not trying to make fun of anybody. I'm just saying this for myself, and I'm not trying to make light of all of the people that struggled during Uri. Your girl thought it was the end.
I had the same energy.
I don't feel so bad. I don't feel so bad then.
My craziness was with fires overnight. Like, I did not want the fire to go out. I was like very, very worried.
Same.
And so I was like waking up every couple hours to put more logs on the fire. My husband was like, you're going to burn through all the firewood. I'm like, but what if it goes out? He's like, we'll start it again.
Yeah.
We'll restart the fire.
I was very paranoid.
That's so funny.
Anyway.
Your girl does not have those skills. And my mother was just like, I just need you to just take a moment and realize that you're stressed out about a fire going out in a fireplace, in a home.
Right.
And I was just like, you're right. To all of that, I say, everybody, please, winter is no longer coming. It is here. So do what you need to do. Get blankets for our unhoused people. There are all these ways that you can show up in the city and help people that are, not nearly as dramatic as myself, and have less than I have.
Yeah.
But you can also download the Ready Central Texas mobile app and sign up for emergency alerts. I get them. They're awesome. And you can register for outage alerts from Austin Energy by texting REG to 287846. So ways that you can stay completely in the know and also help our unhoused people, because I don't know. Grace, you said it earlier, and I was like, oh yeah, that's so freaking real. They're not listening to KXAN. They don't, you know what I mean? Like, so this is a really great opportunity for us to look out for each other.
Yeah, and if I could plug those groups that go out and do that outreach, I have followed them along almost every winter storm, and they do such good work. So if you're looking for a place to put your energy, those groups, I have been humbled every single time I have done one of these stories, seeing these folks and knowing that they're going to be sleeping in the conditions that I can hardly stand outside while I'm doing these stories for like an hour. But these groups that go out and talk to people and get them supplies that may save their lives overnight, if I can just find those groups. And if you're looking for something to do over the holidays, those groups are outstanding, and find one that you like because they do exceptional work and they do save lives.
So, topic 3. What y'all doing this weekend?
It is my birthday on Saturday, which is exciting. It's 20. I'm turning 29, so it's the last year of my 20s. So we're gonna really just
nice.
Last year of my 20s. So we're gonna. Have you guys ever been to Armadillo Den in South Austin?
No.
I love Armadillo Den. It's like very Texas. It's like if you had an outdoor dive bar. That's how I describe Armadillo Den. There's live music there all the time.
Fun.
Food trucks. It's really fun. So we're going to start there. And then we have an ungodly number of Christmas parties to attend, which I'm going to make about me. So
Nice.
that's what
As
I'm
you
doing.
should.
Exactly.
As
It's
you
my
should.
birthday.
It's your birthday.
So, yeah.
Mhm.
And so, like, just go vote as my present. That's what I'm asking people to do. And that's what we're doing for this weekend. There we
Oh,
go.
that is so perfect.
Look at that selflessness.
Mhm.
Look at that selflessness. Look, for her birthday, she just wants y'all to go vote. And, this is the last weekend for a little bit of like mid 70 degrees. So it's perfect for your birthday.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
It's going to be lovely.
Do you have a good Christmas party outfit?
Oh,
Ooh, that's a great question. Not yet, but you bet I will. I'm kind of a last minute outfit planner because I like to know like what kind of vibe I'm feeling last minute.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I will get too early of an outfit and then I'll be like, no, I'm feeling way cozier than what I put together here. So I have to do it last minute.
really?
That happens to me too.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I
Mhm.
need to know what I'm wearing with alternatives way in advance.
Yeah.
or I'm going to be an hour late.
Oh, that's
like
fair.
I need yeah, I need to just know. Eva Ruth, you're not going to be here, are you? What are you doing this
Yeah,
weekend?
I actually need to reach out to David Gray, who's from New Orleans, I believe, because that's where I'm going this weekend for a friend's birthday. So I'm excited to step in those beer-soaked streets,
So fun.
hear some jazz.
If you need any recommendations at all, let me know. I have a whole list of
Oh,
cool
yeah.
places to go.
I want all of them.
Whole list.
Yeah.
Y'all know New Orleans is my second home. I love it so much.
What about you, Nikki?
Well, this weekend is so today starts the 37th Street Lights. They officially started today and it's going through January 1st. I'm probably going to go on Sunday. So things to know, it goes from sundown to 10 p.m. There's no car traffic allowed. You can have your pets, but they have to be on leash. And it's free, but you can also donate like holiday lights. And they have a Venmo that is like at 37th Street Lights, all spelled out. And if you haven't ever gone to 37th Street Lights, y'all, it's so Austin. It's my favorite thing. But you walk down the street and you get you some boozy hot chocolate and you look at all the lights.
I love it.
And I'm a sucker for lights, y'all. I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for Christmas lights. To me, that's the best thing about Christmas are the lights. Have y'all been?
I have not.
What? Grace,
You got to go, Grace.
I didn't know this existed.
listen, it's your birthday weekend. So Sunday night, get cute, get some boozy hot chocolate, get your friends, and walk down 37th Street. It is worth it.
Hmm.
You had me at boozy.
It is a quintessential Austin thing.
And everyone has their own, like, or the year
Each
that I
yard
went, each
has
house
their
has
own.
their own
Yep.
theme. It's like
Mhm.
it's not like too coordinated where it feels sort of like commercial or overdone. It's very much just like a crazy street. Like I remember being a kid and there were a few streets in Seguin that we knew we had to hit to drive through because they had like the best lights, like every single yard. And that's what 37th Street is. It's
What?
just-
That's amazing.
yeah.
And some of them have some of them have like very, very like a theme. There's
Yeah.
a very clear theme.
And
there's
music.
and music, and you can walk into their backyard. And then some people, you can tell they literally threw some lights on top of their house and it looks like, and it's cool. I love it. And sometimes they string it across the street.
Mhm.
It's really wonderful.
It is very magical.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to do that.
Yeah. And it's it's not a very long street. So you're right. It's like a short street. It's so cute. It's so cute.
Good for kids, not a ton of walking for them.
It's
But
really, really cute. I love it. So I'm doing that. Also, Holiday Vibe Market is happening at Distribution Hall on Saturday and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. 110 local artists, makers, and creatives.
wow.
It's free to get in. They got free Topo Chico. They got live music.
Get your gifts.
You get your gifts. That's what I'm like. I still got gifts I got to get. So I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still got gifts I got to get. And then it's the holiday season. So I like to have my hands in a lot of stuff. I like to do a lot of stuff. And then, and if I don't do any of that and I get lazy, I might just do Peppermint Parkway and sit in my car and drive through some lights. So there's lots of options. Y'all know I like to have my options.
Nikki is getting into the spirit in one way or another.
You could do Trail of Lights too. That opened this week.
Oh, that's right. So everyone, there is a lot of stuff happening. We are tits deep in the holiday season. That means there is plenty for you to do. There is no excuse if you want to do something this weekend.
Yeah. Speaking of tits deep.
Yes! No, that's perfect! Yes! Oh, Imaru coming through with the only segue of the day. Yes! Speaking of tits deep, for our final Don't Go Gently tip of the year, put on your finest on Saturday night and head to the Stateside Theater to see me, Nikki Devon, hosts an event called Fancy the Interlude. This is Fat Bottom Cabaret. It's our annual holiday spectacular, and it features Austinites along with performers from New Orleans and San Antonio. The show is devoted to our audience members and the stages that have supported us for this past 10 years. So come ready to enjoy and toast the show's past and future and see me and give me a high five and see some really, 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 really good performances. And that is your Takova's Don't Go Gently weekend tip. Grace, happy birthday weekend.
Thank you.
Woohoo! I'm so excited. I hope that I see you in these streets having the time of your life.
Thank you. I hope you don't.
Grace is like, if you see me, no, you don't.
If you see me, you don't.
You do not. Unless
Say
you're
less.
at the polls.
Say less. You don't have to tell me what. I'll be like, don't see nothing.
Nothing.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Thank you guys so much for rounding up the news with me this week. I appreciate it. Thank you, Eva Ruth. Thank you, Grace, for being here again. It's always a pleasure.
So fun.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nikki.
That's all for today here on CityCast Austin. Our executive producer is Eva Ruth Moravec. Our producers this week are Rishi Bajekal, Francisco Kilgore, Anthony Luciani, and Noah Snyderman. Our Hey Austin newsletter editor is Kelsey Bradshaw. Music is by Nelson Valente Aguilar of Como Las Movies. And I'm Nikki Devon. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell a friend, rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our Hey Austin newsletter. We'll be back Monday morning with more news from around the city. Bye, y'all.